Shalom, all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachakudash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, safety, much love, and blessing to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity and putting their life on the line to do so. I want to say Shalom to you, brothers. I'm the brother of Rock back, through the spirit with another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to an elect member or two. This article is from Forbes. It's a couple of years old, but it's still relevant to today. And the title is "See the Glass Half Full or Half Empty: Why Optimists Are Happier, Healthier, and Wealthier." Okay, now being optimistic is a must. In the truth, we have to be optimistic that everything, and hope and pray that that we are in the number, which is the 144,000 elect. But you also have to be optimistic or have faith that the Lord is gonna do what He said He'll do for His elect. Lord willing, we be those men. Now we all know that our righteousness is as filthy rags, so we don't have 100% righteousness, or we can't follow all the law, statutes, and commandments to the T. So, in knowing that, we have to be optimistic and go off faith, and hope that the things that we are doing, as far as the spirit, is sufficient enough for our glass to be considered half full and not half empty. All right, and when you look at things half empty, you look at using this analogy and comparing it to the truth. If you're looking at the truth or your salvation as being half empty, then you have the wrong mindset, being in this thing. You have to take everything with a grain of salt and turn it into a positive, okay? Not always thinking that the Lord is going to kill you because you accidentally ate a sandwich with some pork in it, or you accidentally cooked on the Sabbath, things like that. You have to look at the glass being half full and not half empty, because like, the title of this article say, those with optimism are happier, healthier, and wealthier. Now, being down on yourself and doubtful and in the spirit of being in the spirit of just being negative all the time, that weighs on your spirit, physically and mentally, so pray to the Lord, me as well. We have to pray to the Lord to let us have that certain level of optimism and endurance, because you can look at a glass half full for so long and you're thinking like, damn, when is glass gonna fill up? But that's where you have to be totally persuaded. You have to give all diligence and just keep pushing, man, and have faith that the Lord is going to do the things in which He said He'll do. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit in this article and grab a couple of precepts, Lord willing, this edifying. It says, times are tough and many people are struggling to stay optimistic given the state of the economy, the insecurity of their jobs, if they have one, the size of their mortgage, and the strain that puts on relationships at home. Maybe you are one of them, or maybe you know someone else who is having it tough. But just because you can find lots of reasons for feeling down and becoming a bona fide pessimist doesn't mean that you should. The fact is, optimism creates opportunity, and pessimism kills you. Okay, it says optimism, opens up ways, channels for opportunity. So if you're optimistic that the things in which you've prayed for, and not being optimistic, I want to say having faith that the things that you've asked the Lord for will manifest and come to fruition. All right, and it'll open up more avenues for you. If you want that new home, ask the Lord. If you want that new whip, ask the Lord. And if it don't come in the time in which you think it should come, don't look at your glass as being half empty, man. You got to stay positive and keep praying, okay? Which leads me to my first precept. This is Mark 11, and I start at 21. It says, "And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursest is withered away. And Yahushua answered, saying unto them, Have faith in the Most High. Verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith." All right. And that's basically, Yahushua telling Peter to, hey man, be optimistic, man, and have faith and believe in the Most High, and those things that you pray and ask for will be added unto you. And that's the same mentality that we have to have. The economy is shit right now. You got this virus going around. You got what do you have? Protests, riots. Unemployment rate is through the roof. Through all of this, you have to still look to the Lord for strength, man, and look at your glass. I'm going to keep saying it. Look at your glass as being half full and not half empty. Because once you start to doubt yourself, you close the window of opportunity, or you close that window of advancing once you, shut it off and become doubtful. All right. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, "Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage?" Looking at that glass half full. "Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest." And that's the type of mindset you have to have. And I'm gonna stop saying you, we. Okay, that's the mindset we have to have. And going about our day to day. All right, and be not dismayed, because the Lord is with us and He has our back, man. And that sometimes it may seem that He doesn't, or the Lord isn't dealing with you, but that's where optimism come in, man. You got to say, man, what the hell with that? That's Satan, that's demons, and you got to know when you do got demons on you. You thinking negative about everything. You think everybody's out to get you. You think brothers is trying to finesse you. Shit like that. You gotta stay optimistic, man, and believe and trust in the Lord, and believe that He's put people around you, as far as the ministry is concerned, that has your best interests at heart. All right. So I'm gonna read a little bit more in this article. Got a couple more precepts, and then I'm gonna close it out. It says, research has found that seeing the glass half full not only makes you happier, it makes you healthier and wealthier. A study by psychologist Susan Sarah-Storm found that 10 years after graduation, law students who were optimistic earned an average of $32K more than their glass half empty peers. All right, through the spirit, if we're looking at it from a positive standpoint, we're going to outweigh all of these Debbie Downers, so to speak. All of these people that ain't got none but negative shit to say every time. And we want to remove ourselves from those type of spirits, because that shit can rub off on you. Okay. Back in the scriptures. This is Philippians chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So when you are going through certain afflictions and things like that, you still have to stay positive and look at that glass as being half full, man. It says, You know how to be abased. That means being in a low state. Sometimes, we in this truth, we're gonna have ups and downs, but don't, turn your back or start to doubt the Lord when you've been abased. All right, because there's an abounding period coming, man. That's only if you stay positive. Those opportunities open up for you and don't shut you off from receiving your blessings, so to speak. So for Philippians 4:12, I know both how to abase and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. All right. And verse 13 is one of the Christian's favorite scriptures. It says, and I can do all things through a Mashiach who strengthens me. That's having optimism, man. Anything you want to accomplish through the spirit or through the world as to use it and not abuse it, ask the Lord and don't doubt. Okay. One more precept, then we'll close it out. When it's an account in Matthew 14. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, this is Matthew 14:28, Salakia Akim. It says, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. Okay. Peter got out there with optimism, but when he felt that boisterous wind, he started to doubt. He started looking like, oh shit, I'm in deep trouble, and began to doubt. And at that moment, that's when he started to sink. He had lost that opportunity to walk on water. And let's see what Yahushua said. Verse 31, and immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore doest thou doubt? All right. And looking at the glass half empty all the time is a sign of a lack of faith, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakodash, Shalom.